It's time for the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games at Southern Utah University in Cedar City. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of a Utah sports tradition at utahsummergames.org. Participate in over 50 sports around the state. Then plan to join the opening ceremonies Friday, June 5th, presented by State Bank of Southern Utah. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games.
I sold my car in Carvana last night.
Well, that's cool.
No, you don't understand. It went perfectly. Real offer, down to the penny. They're picking it up tomorrow. Nothing went wrong.
So, what's the problem?
That is the problem. Nothing in my life goes as smoothly. I'm waiting for the catch.
Maybe there's no catch.
That's exactly what a catch would want me to think.
Wow, you need to relax.
I need to knock on wood. Do we have wood? Is this table wood?
I think it's laminate.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's close enough.
Car selling without a catch. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Good morning, DJ and PK. It's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Welcome in on a Wednesday morning. The San Antonio Spurs are now up 3-2 on the Minnesota Jazz. Yes, many of your favorite players, Rudy Gobert, Mike Conley, Joe Ingles, Kyle Anderson, all hanging by a thread now. Victor Wembanyama had a great game. Minnesota was thinking/hoping he would get suspended for Game 5 after getting ejected for Game 4. Didn't happen. And Victor Wembanyama went out and dominated. 27 points, 17 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 blocks. And the Spurs beat the Wolves 126-97. They're up 3-2. So that was a dominant performance. And what I said yesterday on the show is still true today, just a slight tweak. Instead of through 4 games, we now say through 5 games. But through 5 games, when Victor Wembanyama is good, Spurs win. When Victor Wembanyama is bad or ejected, the game is ejected, he had 4 points in 12 minutes, they get beat. They are riding him. Did they get picks number 1, 2, and 4? Yes, they did. Did they draft some nice players with others as picks? Yes, they did, some nice players. But don't get good confused with great. Victor Wembanyama is on his way to greatness. The other players are nice players, and you got to have them. I heard some stuff, anonymous Laker players quoted, as saying that the Lakers just don't have enough good players to match up with the Thunder, who just, no matter what happens, they just go to their bench and bring in another good player. Doesn't matter if he has the 14th or 15th biggest paycheck on the team. He can still play. He can still help. As Jerry Sloan famously said, nobody's redshirting here. Everybody's checks are clearing on the 1st and 15th. Millers haven't missed a check, have they? It's a terrible Jerry impression, but you get the point. And it's true with the Thunder, and it's not true with the Lakers, and it's why the Thunder swept the Lakers. And in San Antonio, they could probably use some more good players, but they got a great one in Victor Wembanyama. So 126-97. The Spurs win every single quarter. They won the first quarter by 4, the second by 8, the third by 6, and the fourth by 11. And that's how you end up with a 29-point win right there. So there you go. That's, it seems like a foregone conclusion now. Wembanyama doesn't do anything crazy. Minnesota won game 1 because San Antonio was getting used to a higher level of competition. They adjusted, and the only game that Minnesota's won since then is when Wembanyama lost his cool and got kicked out. Presumably that won't happen again. You probably saw the video of, Popovich meeting him at the airport. Oh, so dramatic. Get me over to the airport. I'll set him straight. Okay, well, whatever. Whatever works. If that works, then so be it. One more game tonight. Cleveland, Detroit. Series is tied 2-2. They got game 5 in Detroit. Cavaliers are a perfect 6-0 at home in the playoffs this year and a perfectly lousy 0-5 on the road. Can they break through and beat Detroit tonight? Detroit's playing another long series. They had a 7-gamer in the first round. This is game 5 in the second. They're going to have 6. They're going to play either 13 or 14 games in the first 2 rounds. Amazing how much tread is coming off the tires. I think that haunts them at some point. That's a lot of playoff basketball, and they still got a long way to go. So there's the hoops on the night. The hockey, I'm paying attention to it. I got to admit I'm not locked in and dialed in, but I am curious who wins and why, what can be taken away, and applied to the Mammoth. I mean, the same way I watch the NBA playoffs, what can be taken away and applied to the Jazz. And watching the Sabres, I just watched Josh Doan because he made that Doan-Peterka trade, and Doan has had, quite the year. And now really having a pretty good playoffs as well. And I think that he did it again. He had 2 assists in that game. He assisted on the first goal, and then he had another assist later. They win 3-2. The second goal was funky, though. Montreal's up 2-1 after one period. And Buffalo gets a goal in the second and then the power play in the third to win it. The goal in the second, they're just dumping the puck in. They don't have numbers. They just dump it in, and it hits the boards, comes back right next to the net. Goaltender's skate is out. It hits the skate and banks into the net. Totally fluky. Weird. I had to see it 3 times to figure out what just happened there. I mean, the announcer, Sean McDonough, who's really good, I think, was describing it, and I want to see it. I got to figure it out. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy way to score. But, hey, you get a break. You got to take advantage of it. They got the power play goal. They got the win. So that series is 2-2 now there. The football news, NFL schedules are leaking out all week, and I know we got a bunch of NFL fans here. Man, if you hate the Broncos, this is going to be a bad year. The Broncos are going to be all over your TV. Now, times have changed since I was blamed for scheduling them on Channel 2 in the 90s and 2000s. The Broncos are going to play a lot of prime time games, so you won't see them every Sunday because they're going to be in prime time. So they won't be, on TV every Sunday afternoon. And that's going to start right out of the gate. Right out of the gate, the first Monday Night Football game, Broncos and Chiefs. I got to say, that surprised me. Both and the NFL doesn't blow this very often, so they probably got it right. They probably just know more than us. But, will both these quarterbacks be ready? I think Bo Nix will. The reports on him have been pretty consistent that he'll be ready for camp, so he'll be ready for the opener. It's a little dicier because Patrick Mahomes for Kansas City is coming off the ACL. But that's a marquee matchup, Broncos and Chiefs. And to use that in week 1 when you might not have Mahomes, that quite frankly surprises me. I would think while they're getting Mahomes ready, give the Chiefs whatever last place dog they've got to play that nobody really wants to see and put them on a Sunday morning and call it good. The Bronco games and the Charger games, because those 3 teams have consistently been playoff teams. I mean, the Chiefs missed once last year. But the Broncos and Chargers, the Broncos were hosting the AFC title game last year. I think those are marquee games. I think you throw Harbaugh out there and Reed and the quarterbacks. That's Chargers, Chiefs, and Chargers, Broncos. That's 4 marquee games to spread around in prime time. And I'm surprised they're using this one game 1. That's interesting. And also all these international games. I guess everybody's going to go, so we shouldn't expect them to be a big deal. But Madrid, I'm sorry. Atlanta and Cincinnati, teams, quite frankly, divisions. There are divisions that look really good. The NFC West was great last year. I think it'll be good again. The AFC West was really good last year. If Kansas City's back in form, I think it's great. The storylines in the AFC East are decent. The Jets and Dolphins are going to be bad, but the Bills and Patriots should both be good. So that's not bad there. I just think the AFC South, the NFC South, and the NFC North prove it to me. I know in the NFL anything can happen, so any of them could be good, but on paper right now, I just have no confidence in it. May evolve that way. Maybe it'll be compelling watching somebody in the AFC North, multiple 10-win teams. I just don't know that anybody's going to be great. It's a pretty interesting year in the AFC. There's a little passing of the torch going on here. So we'll see how that plays out. Maybe the Ravens with a new coaching staff get a little new life, but I have my doubts about them. The doubts about the Bengals defense, just doubts about the Browns in general. And Pittsburgh, 10-7, if everything goes right. Maybe win the division at 10-7. I think I could see that. So they will continue to leak games out, just a few games here and a few games there. And then Thursday we get, I guess that's tomorrow now. We'll probably get some more games leaked out later today. And then tomorrow we get the entire schedule, and you can embrace it. You can go crazy. A little baseball history. How about Don Mattingly? Back in the big leagues, career win number 900 as a manager. Wow. If he gets another year, he could get to 1,000. Now, he may not. Maybe they bring Cora back. He didn't want it this year. But Mattingly, very impressive, man. The Phillies are now 11-3 since he took over. And I think Kyle Schwarber's on fire. I don't know how Mattingly can take credit for that. But, hey, you get the blame. You might as well take the credit, too. He gave him a couple of hitting tips. Went in there, told him how it had to be. Hold your hands a little lower. Your weight, get your... It's unbelievable. Schwarber is 5 homers. He's homered in 5 straight games now, which is impressive. And he had 1 2-homer games, so he's got 6 home runs in the 5 games. That's not bad. 7th guy in Phillies history to do it. Some of the other names you might have heard of: Mike Schmidt, Dick Allen, Bobby Abreu, Chase Utley. Yeah, there's some pretty big names there. So Mattingly is the 6th active manager at 900 wins now. Terry Francona, obviously. Dave Roberts in L.A. Craig Counsell, Kevin Cash, and A.J. Hinch. Mattingly on a list. Schwarber on a list. Maybe the Phillies turn it around. They're only 2 games under 500, and man, the rest of the National League is kind of coming back to them in the wild card race. So, I mean, the Braves are way out there winning the division. Maybe the wheels will come off the Braves, but it doesn't seem like it. The Braves are just awesome right now. Best record in baseball, winning almost 70% of their games. They're actually at 69%, 29-13. After they won and beat the Cubbies, and didn't just beat the Cubbies, dominated the Cubbies. And the Cubbies are hot, and it's nothing. That stuff doesn't matter to the Braves, I guess. They'll just cool you off. Held the Cubbies to 1 hit on 2 runs. Oof. All right, DJ and PK, we got more coming up. We'll get to all the headlines coming up in what is trending in an hour. Right now, we got a couple things to get to this morning. A little bit, the PGA Championship starts Thursday. We got that to look forward to. We got the draft with Bob Casper, and always fun trying to pick 3 guys and trying to pick whoever's going to win the next major. And none of us got the Masters right. None of us thought Rory would go back-to-back, and none of us picked Scheffler to go back-to-back either. So go figure. And then we'll talk to Matt Murschel. Spring football tour takes us to UCF, where they try to bounce back from a 5-7 season. 3-0 in the non-conference, 2-7 in the Big 12. Not good. Not good at all. We'll talk with Matt coming up. Bob Casper's next. Stay with us.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car's gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
The PGA Championship Update is presented by Copper Rock, where the pros play, on 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
Bob, good morning.
Hello, boys. How you doing?
We're doing well. Hopefully we'll be doing better when we do our draft here in a few minutes than we did at the Masters, where we all whiffed on Rory McIlroy because none of us thought he could win it back-to-back years, and he did. Oops. Looking for a little better performance here at the PGA Championship. Let's start with the course they're competing at. I looked it up because I was not familiar with it. It turns out there have been some big tournaments there. Not in a while. It's not exactly on the front burner, but it's not unknown either. What is distinctive about this place, which I can't pronounce? Aronimink? Aronimink, okay.
Yeah. It's kind of a silent N.
Apparently.
Aronimink.
All right, Aronimink.
Yeah. So it's a great golf course. They've extended it out to 7,400 yards. It's amazing in that you have a lot of options off the tee to be able to get different clubs as far as driver or iron, kind of getting yourself into position. But the golf course really shapes up to a second shot players course. And so it's amazing. The greens have a lot of slope and a lot of undulation. It's very reminiscent of Augusta National. But the second shots into the greens are primarily what's going to be important for a lot of players on this golf course. Also, there's a lot of complexes as far as bunkering is concerned on the golf course. And so when I was talking about being in the right position off the tee, a lot of guys can hit it over those, like Rory and some of the other guys that hit a long way. That gives them a lot shorter shots in the green. So some people are going to have to lay up the back a little bit further, and some are going to take advantage of their length. So 173 bunkers on this golf course, and it's going to be a great test.
Jordan Spieth is in a unique situation. You know, you ask him one more tournament to win, you win one more, he would choose the PGA because he lacks that. And you look at it, and it's very similar to Rory. They won early, won a lot early, and then it's been a big drought. And then Rory obviously got his last year and gets another one this year. What do you think about Jordan, who is sort of out there but really hasn't made a name for himself to follow up what he had been doing about a decade ago?
Well, you know, that's kind of interesting is that Jordan Spieth does have a chance to get the career Grand Slam, just as Scotty Scheffler had a chance to get it, the next major championship at the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
Jordan Spieth has not played great. He's shown some good play so far this year, but doesn't have a top 10. So, you know, is he going to resurrect his game from a decade ago and be able to have an opportunity to win this week? I don't know that. But the great thing about Jordan Spieth is he has the opportunity to do this for the rest of his career on the PGA Tour. And one of these weeks, if it's this week or not, one of these weeks, he's going to have an opportunity and get himself into contention and have an opportunity to close it out and get a PGA championship.
This is the week, and you're going to pick him number one, aren't you? You're just sandbagging right now. I can see it.
Number one?
Oh, yeah. You have total faith in him, don't you?
Spieth you're talking about?
Oh,
no,
absolutely.
I'm not going to pick him number one.
No.
Sneaky third pick then. You're sandbagging.
Everybody's doubting him. I can relate to Jordan. Everybody's doubting him. Nobody believes in him. He's a bum. That's what they think of me.
Not at all.
There was a time that the PGA was famous for basically unheard of guys or guys who hadn't been playing well got it together and won it.
First-timers, yeah.
Yeah, and Spieth, to a certain degree, fits that, right? He wouldn't be a first-timer because he won, but it's a decade ago, so there's a certain parallel there. But lately, the players who've won, they've largely been pretty high up in the official world golf rankings, and he's not. So do you view that, and especially the way the course sets up and the way the tour is going right now, does it have to be somebody who's elite in this tournament? Because that is largely how it's been going lately.
Well, I think the elite guys are definitely going to have a better chance of it. But Jordan is one of the things he prides himself on is his short game and his putting. And Jordan will do well on these greens just because of the opportunity that he's going to have to make putts, what he's going to be able to do around the greens. And then he is a great shot maker for second shots. So I think that's going to help him out quite a bit.
Why is the career Grand Slam such a big deal as opposed to if I told Jordan, hey, you could win this or you could win 3 more Masters, it seems like he would take this?
Well, it's an exclusive club. There's only 6 guys that have done the career Grand Slam ever. And not even Arnold Palmer did it. So it's kind of the holy grail as far as players are concerned to get the career Grand Slam. It means you've played well in each one of the majors and that you've had an opportunity to win and play against the best fields and win each one of the majors. And so, yeah, he would like to win 3 more Masters, no doubt about it. You know, he's got 1 under his belt right now, but this is the one that he wants to get. And you saw Rory McIlroy last year when he finally clipped off the last one at the Masters, how he fell to his knees and kind of emotionally broke down. It means a lot to these guys, and to finally get it, Rory, then it's just a huge milestone. So I think he would take this one first, and then he'd probably try to clip off the next 3 with the Masters.
Is it just that whole notion of these championships and the courses? I mean, the U.S. Open course is very different than the Open Championship and a link-style course, and the Masters is different than both of them. So it's just showing off what a complete game you have.
Yeah, it is. And each one of them has their different abilities. I mean, at Augusta, you need more of an all-around game. You need to putt well. You need to pitch well. All that kind of thing. U.S. Open, you want to hit fairways and you want to hit greens, and you're not going to be making a ton of birdies. But it's a golf tournament where they're trying to not only get you to get all your 14 clubs dirty, but they're trying to mentally tax you with your gray matter in between your ears. An Open Championship, you just try to survive the elements because that's what keeps scores lower or higher because when the elements and the wind and everything is happening there on link style type of golf courses, that's what makes the golf tournament more difficult. When there's no wind, those guys play really, really well over there. And then a PGA Championship, it's kind of an adaptation of all of the U.S. Open and the Masters, in that it still tests your game depending on where they're competing at, but it's a little bit easier on the mental psyche to be able to win a major. Even and having said that, majors are tough playing against the best players in the world. So it's just one of the top four, and it's a great one to have a feather in your cap.
You talk about getting your 14 clubs dirty. What I noticed watching the Truist last week was, man, these guys look like they have brand new shoes every time they play. Is there a requirement? Because those things are shiny.
Well, I don't know that they're brand new. They may have worn them a few rounds or something like that, but I always found when I put on a brand new pair of shoes, I got blisters. So everybody's wearing the best stuff that each one of their sponsors is putting out there, and they color coordinate their outfits and their shoes and everything. It's all planned for them that they're going to wear these certain outfits these certain days, and so. It doesn't surprise me that their shoes look that new.
All right, let's get to it, Bob. It's time for our draft. Who do you want to take? Now, we've got the new rule this year that you can't draft somebody in multiple tournaments, and you took Cameron Young, Bryson DeChambeau, and you also took Gutterup last time with the Masters. We talked about this, Bob. You know this. Don't go, what?
No, wait a second. I'm looking at the draft that you sent out to us.
Yeah.
I took Rory, Colin Morikawa, and Sepp Straka.
No, you didn't.
Did not.
Not in 2026. You took Cam Young, and I was going to take Cam Young. You're a cheater, man.
List,
You're freaking Patrick Reed. That's who you are.
Oh.
Okay, so I took Cameron Young. Who did I take again?
DeChambeau and Gutterup.
Cameron Young, DeChambeau, and Gutterup.
Yes, and we have the regional assignments, which is I'm still getting the short end of the stick. I got Brooks Koepka because I'm skinny now, apparently. John Rahm
no,
for
you're
PK.
buff.
Yeah, that's right. And Xander Schauffele for you. So because
we can change him up.
Well,
I'm Irish. I got Rory.
I'm going to take Roars this one.
You're taking Rory out of the gate.
I'm taking Rory.
All right.
Number one.
Well, then I'll take Cam.
Oh, you fetcher.
All right, PK, who do you want?
Well, now I got to regroup.
You got to regroup with Rory and Cam gone.
Oh, my gosh. I'm going to go Fleetwood. I'm going all foreign this time. Yeah, I'm going all foreign. I just decided.
Okay.
I almost wrote.
Then I'm going to
I almost typed
John
down.
Rahm.
No, John Rahm's his regional pick. You can't have Rahm.
Dang it.
I almost put down Mick Fleetwood. I always do that. Tommy, I got it right. Thank you.
Say women. They will come and they will go.
Just mess that up.
I'm going to take J.J. Spawn.
J.J. Spawn.
Warren Spawn's a better pick. He had one shot in the dark.
Warren Spawn, listen to you.
Do people even know who that is?
Some old-time pitcher. Well, like 900 games.
Left-handed, yeah, left-handed.
He threw left.
Did he pitch from like the 30s to the 50s or something?
Yeah, I mean, you're classic. Anybody know who it is? And then you name 5 things about him. You're a nerd.
Well, I know. That's why I said, does anybody else know? I didn't say I didn't know. You take J.J. Spawn. All right, then I am going to go Matty Fitz.
Oh, I said I was taking all foreign.
You took Matt Fitzpatrick round 1 of the Masters. You can't take him, so stop your whining.
You got me there.
Take his brother.
You know, I thought about taking Big Al. And you were so against him being able to do it. And then, look, he almost won the thing last week. Come on, Bob. Get off your high horse.
How about him? How about that guy? He wins with his brother.
Yeah.
Then he finishes 9th at Doral, finishes 4th last week. He's made almost $3 million now on the PGA Tour.
And you didn't even think he should be there. You thought it was unfair. He was just riding his brother's coattails. You thought it.
I did.
Are you taking Big Al?
I thought it.
Yes. Welcome to my world, Bob.
Okay.
Welcome to my world.
Who you taking?
Justin Rose.
Oh, I already typed in Big Al.
That's a good pick because he won there in 2010.
I told you I'm going all foreign.
Okay, and then I'm gonna follow up with Spieth.
You are taking him. I knew you were sandbagging.
Yeah,
I knew it.
You said my third pick.
I knew you were sandbagging.
He did call it. He said it.
Yeah. Bum, bum, bum.
Come on, DJ.
Yeah, I'm growing old here.
I'm thinking about whether I should use him now, but I think I'm going to hold on to him.
Go ahead. You want Scheffler.
I was thinking I'm going to pick him off in the 3rd round.
Well, I get first pick at the U.S. Open.
Come on.
And he's a lock for number 1.
Oh, yes. You better take him now. Take him now. Come on.
Hey, he's playing well. Hey, DJ.
Yeah.
DJ, here's a stat for you. His last 3 events, he has finished second.
Second. Yeah, I know.
And that hasn't been done since 2014.
I don't know. I just got a bad feeling. I don't know what it is.
You got a bad feeling about Scheffler?
I do. I don't know what it is.
Well, what about Meredith and Bennett? How do you think they feel?
Meredith and Bennett. I'm going to go with Morikawa. I'm going to go call him Morikawa.
Really? He's had a hurt back all year.
Yeah, but he's getting healthier. And he's played well with the hurt back.
Okay.
Third round is for a flyer. Third round's for a flyer. I'm taking a flyer. You took Spieth. We're taking flyers here, Bob.
Yep, that's right.
I'll go Oberg.
There you go. I knew that one was coming.
Wait, who did you take? Yak was talking to me. I couldn't hear.
Oberg.
Oh, Ludwig.
I said I go all foreign.
Okay.
I'm getting the guy who lives in Oklahoma City. He's all foreign. Or Stillwater, I guess.
Hey, that Oklahoma State Cowboys is a legend.
You took 2 guys I've taken a lot, and they've been close, but they've never done it for me, in Ludwig and Justin Rose. I've picked them so many times, and they're going to come through for you. I can feel it.
Justin Rose is getting up there in age, but what the heck?
I know, but I had him at the Masters a year ago, and he finished second. He was right there.
You can taste it.
Are you saying he's long in the teeth?
He is old by PGA Tour standards.
Oh, yeah. Was he 45?
Yeah. But he's playing really well. He's always in the mix.
Oh, he's playing great
He's
golf.
playing great. Yeah.
All
right, there we go, Bob. Are you taking off to go? Or are you going to sit one out for once?
I'm sitting one out. BT's going back.
Oh, okay. All right.
But we'll both be at the U.S. Open.
There you go. All right, Bob, well, we appreciate it. Bob Casper and Brian Taylor's appearances all week long are brought to you by Mountain America Credit Union, Mountainland Supply, Black Desert Resort, Hoops Vision, and Uinta Golf. Bob and Brian will be on every show all week long, updating us on the PGA Championship. Coming up, May 14th, that is tomorrow. Beehive Meals opens their new production facility in Ogden. Tune in as Scotty and the coach broadcast live, covering the grand opening and bringing the energy. Beehive Meals tomorrow. New production facility in Ogden. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Matt Murschel talking UCF football. The spring football tour continues. Stay with us.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did she have to fight a dragon?
Nope. She bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It is time to talk college football. Matt Murschel joins us, UCF and college football writer for the Orlando Sentinel. Matt, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys doing today?
We are doing well. How are the UCF Knights and you doing? And is it the same, or is it different?
I think they're doing well. I mean, they just wrapped up spring camp a little later than normal, but they had a pretty good camp. They brought in 41 newcomers in year 2 of Scott Frost, and they think they've got a pretty good group here now. You know, now that Scott's had another year under his belt, they feel like they've brought in enough experience and talent that they can help them maybe make that jump up into being bowl eligible from where they were last year.
Yeah, I went and listened to his post-spring wrap, and he was talking about how just more comfortable second year, and it makes sense that he would have more comfortability going into his second stint, second year. And you talk about those 41 transfers, and I'm thinking that's probably led by the quarterback from James Madison, Barnett, who was the Sun Belt Player of the Year, 2-year starter, some decent stats, 58% on the completion, but ran for almost 600 yards. I assume he didn't follow Chesney to UCLA because they already have a quarterback established there for the Bruins, and so Barnett decides to go south to UCF. I know he was limited in spring, and Frost was talking about watching him throw. But how much of the success is going to be riding on his ability to be successful this season?
Yeah, I think a lot of it. You know, you look at the fact that he's their cornerstone piece to this transfer portal class. You know, he was the guy that they brought in early on, and they figured that would help them kind of start to add some pieces around him. Because once you've got a talented quarterback in, it's easier to convince receivers and running backs and offensive linemen, you know, to kind of sign with your team because, you know, you've got a guy now who's in place and who's been to the college football playoff last year. He fits in well what UCF wants to do offensively. He can throw the football, but he's also got mobility, which allows him to, like, you know, get out of the pocket and make some plays. And the stability at quarterback is something that UCF really needed to focus on in the offseason because you look at what happened last year. They had 4 different quarterbacks who basically, you know, saw time on the field. The year before that, they had 4 different quarterbacks who saw time on the field. They need to get that stability. They need to get the number one guy out there playing the majority of the snaps. And that way, I think that would help the offense, you know, kind of do more than they would expect them to.
A wide receiver, Josh Derry, transfers in from Monmouth. How much faith do they have? Undersized, I get why he wasn't recruited heavily. He's 5'9", 182 pounds listed at. Has he proved enough, and how did he look in spring ball? Does he match up against bigger players?
Oh, yeah. He's done an amazing job in spring ball. I think every player we've spoken with has talked about Josh Derry and his abilities, you know, to make plays, to get separation from defender. You know, he's a guy that, like you said, he has a little undersized, but has found a way to still, you know, make those kind of plays. He's a playmaking ability. And then there's his work ethic. You know, this is the guy that comes into UCF. He's every morning at 6 a.m. He's in the practice field, you know, working out. And that kind of mentality has started to carry over to younger players, to other receivers on the team. Now they're joining him at 6 a.m., you know, trying to continue to go out there and work hard and try to find a way to get better. And that's something that you want. So they feel like Derry's going to be a big piece of what they're going to do. I mean, Dwayne Thomas Jr. is still the number one guy, and Wade Charles is going to be number two. But I think Josh Derry is that third, slot receiver guy who can really kind of maybe, be impressive at times and really help them kind of, spread open the field a little bit more.
Well, Dwayne Thomas is a small guy, too. I think he's only like 5'8", but I've had enough of the small guys. I want to talk about the big guys. And you want to talk about the big guys for the UCF team. It starts, and I can almost argue it ends, with Horace Lockett, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, Horace Lockett's a big part of what they want to do defensively. He's the guy that steps in the tackle spot. He was banged up last year and didn't get to play most of the season. But he's a guy that they really believe can be the heart and soul of that, defensive line, especially when you think about the fact that Malachi Lawrence and Nigel Kelly, your two ends, are gone to the NFL. You need a guy to step up and be the man. And he flirted with the transfer portal during the offseason, and there was some thought that he might leave, but he decided to come back, and it's a big part of what they want to do at the line. They brought in a lot of transfers. They got a few players that they think are going to come back and be contributors, but Horace is going to be the guy in the middle, I think, that's going to be able to give them that push up front because they need to continue to carry and try to get takeaways and try to be disruptive in the backfield, and I think he's going to be a big part of that.
On college football's all-name team, I expect to find Sincere Edwards. However, he did not get to practice. There were a lot of guys held out. How are all these guys going to be back? Is Sincere going to be back? Because I love that name. And how big an impact are these guys? And if they're not there, how big a problem is it? Because the list, I'm reading a spring football story here, the list of guys held out is pretty long.
Yeah, I think some of that, these guys are expected to be back. I think some of that is, these guys were banged up coming off of last year and just needed time to get themselves back into the swing of things. Scott Frost made a really good kind of point about saying these are financial investments now. We've made investments into these players, and we can't just go throw them out there and something happens and they get banged up or hurt. Now we've lost on that investment. So I think, that's kind of the mentality they've had is yeah, sure, spring is important, but some of these guys, this is year 2, year 3, or whatever with the program, and, it's a chance for them to maybe rest up a little bit. They've had a lot of snaps over their careers, and it's a chance just to kind of get them rested up and get them up to speed. I think more importantly for them, it's just building that chemistry, building, what they're trying to build there with the culture. And a lot of the players we spoke with that's been a big part of that. These guys have really kind of bonded and feel like this is a good, close group.
Bringing back Lewis Carter, linebacker, leading tackler. We talked about Horace Lockett, 6'6", 355 up the middle there. I think at the linebacker spot, you'd point to Carter as being an impact player.
Yeah, Carter's another big piece of their defense bringing back. He's a guy that really, was the general out on the field, during the defense. And so he's a guy that they expect to continue to play that role. They brought some pieces around him through the transfer portal that's going to help him out. They've got a secondary that's got a lot of experience returning, a lot of returners coming back. So the secondary is going to be strong, but they need to get the middle of that defense to be just as tough as the rest of it because they're going to have to find a way to slow down Big 12 teams. And that's something that they struggle with at times. That they would get behind and then they'd have to find a way to kind of catch up. And that's not really what this team is kind of designed for. So they need guys like Carter to continue to grow and evolve. And I think that was a huge addition in the offseason. That was someone that basically they could keep having come back.
When Frost was there the first time, the pitch was, hey, this is a program that's rising. There's so much talent in Florida. Some of these guys are going to want to stay home or close to home and play, and it worked. But now it's all about NIL. Is the vibe completely different? Are the challenges? Is it almost like even though he has his old job back, he's got a brand new job?
Well, yeah, for sure. I think that was the biggest challenge that Frost faced last year was, last time he had been a head coach, transfer portal was nowhere near as competitive as it was now. And NIL wasn't nearly as bad as it was now. And neither was revenue share. So he was trying to deal with that on the fly and figure out how to get these guys to come back and want to be a part of something. He tells the story that, the moment that he gave his introductory press conference, he leaves the stage and he goes to his office, and there's two kids standing outside with their agents and basically asking him for more money. And Scott said, I don't even know who these guys were. I didn't even look at the roster to that point. It had been like, and you got guys already demanding more money. So I think they've done a good job in the off season. They added a general manager in Trent Mossberger, and they've added a couple other pieces to where they've kind of built a system in place now that'll help with the NIL, with revenue sharing, those kind of situations. So they can kind of be competitive and try to get the kind of players they need to get and fit the needs that they really need to have.
They got a pretty good tight end in Dylan Wade. I think he led the team in terms of touchdown receptions. Probably needs some more, but you can argue that he has the potential to be the leading receiver, and he's a really good player.
Yeah, Dylan Wade's going to be a big part of what they do offensively. He was the guy that they were really, when the offseason, when they were looking to try to keep some guys, we talked about Horace Lockett, but Dylan Wade was one of them. Dwayne Thomas was one of them, and to convince those guys to come back for another year, to be able to play, I think that's huge for them. They needed a safety valve, and I think Dylan kind of stepped into a larger role last year, and they feel like he's a guy that can really, he could be that X factor on the offense, and the guy that they can really rely on when maybe things, break down or you need a first down on, a 3rd and 6. He's a guy that can go out there and make that play. And I think that's going to be crucial for them. So Dylan is a guy that I think they feel like is a big part of how, if they're going to have any success this season, he needs to be around.
Frost said that other than defensive end, they're pretty clearly better at every spot. And you see the 5 wins last year, they held opponents to 14 points or less. And in 5 of the losses, they gave up 30 points or more. They lost a couple games in the 20s as well. Do you see the defense as better, and is there an impact guy who's going to make the game easier for everybody else?
Yeah, I think the defense has gotten better. I think that was been the thing that they really wanted to do. They wanted to add some pieces that they felt like could really maybe help take them to the next level. And I think that's something that they're going to need, especially on the road where they really struggled. They needed guys to really step up and make plays, and I think, where they're going to really kind of have some help is, that edge spot. I think they're going to really need some guys to step up there. Isaiah Nixon's a guy that's been around for 4 years. He's going to probably step up in that role left by Malachi Lawrence. And you mentioned Sincere Edwards. I think he's another guy that's going to step up. Ty Bartram is a name that I don't think a lot of people will recognize, but a guy from Harvard who was a captain last year that has just really kind of caught everyone, the coach's eyes, and they really think he's a guy that's going to be a big-time playmaker. He's a safety for them. That's also kind of the captain of the special teams and, really has kind of assumed that leadership role as well. And I think he's a guy that can be someone that could really step up and make some plays. And then, there's some other guys that they feel like that could step up and really be the contributors. But most of those guys, I think, are coming back.
You talk about how it's different the second time around for Frost. I would argue that the biggest difference, NIL is huge for everybody, but for this particular program, it's being in the Big 12.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is a big jump from going to the American to the Big 12. And Scott's had experience, obviously. He was in the Big 10 with Nebraska and understood, as a coach, kind of the challenges of playing tougher teams. But I think where that comes into more effect is, as I mentioned, is the road games. It's being on the road, going to venues, trying to find, ways to win games on the road when things are tough. And that's something that they've really struggled with, not just under Frost, but under Gus Malzahn, the previous, leadership. They struggled at times on the road. And if they can find a way to win some of those road games, I think they have a better opportunity to try to be a contender in the Big 12. But you can't go on the road and just, look like a totally different team. They've done that a couple times last year where they come off a big win and then they go on the road and look like they just forgotten every way to win. So I think that's going to be the challenge for them. Is trying to find ways to make sure they can be competitive on the road and win some of those games away from Orlando.
Is bowl eligibility the goal? Is that it? Do they need to compete in the conference because some people have written big checks? What is the goal for Scott Frost this year? Yeah,
I think for sure they need to be bowl eligible would be a huge step for them. I think if they could get to 7 wins, 7 or 8 wins, that would be big. Now, every player we spoke with obviously is telling us they want to win the Big 12 championship. But is that likely? I mean, it just depends on if this team can bond. I think they've got to take steps, and I think the next step is to be bowl eligible, get to 7 or 8 wins, and then you can kind of see where you can kind of build some momentum off that. If they don't do that, if they struggle, if they, finish 5 and 7 again or worse, I think then the pressure starts to mount a little bit for Scott because, it's the idea that, listen, yes, you had lightning, you caught lightning in a bottle, so to speak, when you won in 2017, but you're going to have to find a way to do that now, and you got to find a way to be better at it. And he's got the tools now. There shouldn't be any reason why they can't.
Well, man, we appreciate a few minutes. Thanks for joining us, and we will keep our eye on UCF.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
Matt Murschel joining us, UCF and college football writer for the Orlando Sentinel. BYU is at UCF October 24th. Utah and Texas Tech miss UCF, so Houston is their big road game. They're largely playing teams who were in the bottom of the league last year. Some of those teams might bounce back, but the door is open for those guys.
It's flung right open. Everybody thinking bowl eligibility. I can remember being down in Vegas at the Mountain West Conference Media in the time where the Mexico Lobos were just awful, and I think they were 1-11, and me and Ben Bagley were doing the show, and right to our left was the New Mexico people. Mm-hmm. You would have thought it was a friggin' Ohio State, man.
Every time you take your headsets up and listen, they're just pumping them up, man. Here come the Lobos, look out.
Oh, Bulls, they're a contender. Guys, man, no.
UCF went 3-0 in non-conference last year, then 2-7 in the league and missed the bowl eligible. And one of their 2 wins was Oklahoma State, which was obviously a complete disaster. And they get to play Oklahoma State for one of their 4 road games. Yeah, but
Oklahoma State has gotten a huge influx of transfers.
Of North Texas guys.
And a lot of programs, including the Hammer, has picked them in the top half of the conference.
To be bowl eligible.
The Hammer.
The Hammer. That's PK's nickname for John Wilner at the San Jose Mercury News, if you're not following along.
Well, he writes for KSL.com. What do you mean the San Jose Mercury News?
I believe it's
KSL.com.
It is syndicated here.
Nobody cares that he writes for San Jose. It's KSL.com.
Uh-huh. Okay.
That's where he writes. We're localizing it. And they pick it up. But the Hammer's high on Oklahoma State.
All right.
Yeah.
They brought in a coach from North Texas and a lot of players.
And their
North
quarterback,
Texas had a good team.
They're looking at him as an NFL guy. So that there's been other teams that have had dramatic turnarounds. So I wouldn't look at Oklahoma State as some patsy as they have been the last couple of years, bizarrely.
Should be time for a bounce back.
Yeah.
There's Matt Murschel. When we come back, what is trending? The headlines are next.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did she have to fight a dragon?
Nope. She bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.